Hi guys, Namaskar and Jai Jinendra. This is me, A Jain, and you might be wondering where am I sitting right now. I'm actually seated in this Jain library in this Vile Parle Jain temple of Simandar Bhagwan. It is finally the 31st of December 2023, and tomorrow it's going to be 1st of Jan 2024. I mean, uh, the moment it becomes 12 a.m., it is going to be New Year 2024. So tell me guys, how have all of you been? And just do a quick reflection on how this year went by. I mean, how was your year of 2023? Was it good? Was it fine? What all did you enjoy? What all did you learn? Did you learn anything new? Just make a quick reflection of that, and just think what you can do for the next year. See, every year we need to progress, even in this material world, even spiritually, emotionally, mentally, everything we need to progress every year. So before new year starts, all of you just do a quick reflection, and just prepare yourselves to, to do even more better for the next year. So coming to today's topic, I'm going to be very honest, and I mean, most of the time, in fact, in all my videos, I am honest. I'm just telling you whatever I speak from my heart, and today also I'm going to speak from the center of my heart. So today's topic is my way of being a Jain. What type of a Jain am I? Okay, and people have asked me certain questions. So in regards to that, I will be answering your questions. Okay, so starting with the first question: which principle of Jainism do I adore or admire the most, and why? When it comes to Jainism, we have got many principles. We have got many tattvas. We have got tattvas, we have got agams, and we have got many principles. So, out of all the principles in Jainism, which principle of Jainism do I admire the most, and why? And the answer is, me personally, I admire I admire the principle of Anekantavada. Okay, I admire the principle of Anekantavada in Jainism, because Anekantavada means nothing other than practicing complete open-mindedness. Don't always just stick to one point of view, or even think of learn to respect and value other people's point of view, and learn to embrace others for who they are, and being open to changes, and this is very important, learning how to evolve with time, learning to evolve with time, learning to progress with time, and learning to accept new things. Of course, I'm not saying that whenever something new comes, just accept it blindly. Of course, analyze it, inspect it, introspect it, and understand the inner meaning and the inner truths behind everything you come across in life. But end of the day, as time moves on, we all need to evolve, and we all need to learn to evolve with time. So in order for that, the concept of Anekantavada is indeed the most important principle, which will indeed help us to progress and evolve with time. So therefore, speaking about, see, I admire almost all the principles of Jainism, but if you ask me specifically, is there any principle of Jainism which I admire the most? It is the principle of Anekantavada. Okay, and many of you may ask, normally a Jain would say, ahimsa would be his most favorite principle, but that's not the case with me. Of course, I too believe in ahimsa, but still, even then, as I told you, ahimsa also, 98 to 99% of my life I practice ahimsa, but just that 1%, During necessary times, even we as Jains are allowed to use hinsa, and that is when it comes in the that is during times of self-defense. Even historically speaking, many Jain kings, many great Jain warriors, Jain emperors, they say Jain Chakravartis. In reality, Jain Chakravartis and Jain kings have fought wars. Even today, there are a lot of Jains who joined the Indian army, who joined the Indian navy, who joined the Indian, air force, and even that, special forces of India, such as, India has got many different types of special forces, such as NSG commandos, SPG commandos, Cobra commandos, Marcos commandos. All these special forces are there in India, and guess what? There are many Jain officers. There are many male and female Jain military officers, Jain army officers, and both male and female Jain navy officers who are serving actively in the Indian military. So, as I said, I believe strongly in ahimsa, but only when it comes to my defense, when it comes to defending our country, defending our nation, defending our family, and defending our loved ones. Only during times of defense we need to use hinsa. So, ahimsa is also the principle which I truly admire, but it is also subjective to many situations. Okay, so overall, as I told you, if there is one principle which I truly admire and which I truly practice in my everyday life, and that principle of Jainism is the principle of Anekantavada. So compared to all the other principles of Jainism, I totally admire the principle of Anekantavada. Okay. Next question is, which principle of Jainism do I not follow and why? Okay. You want to know all these details, huh? Okay. So, the next question people have asked me is, me being a Jain, which principle of Jainism I do not follow? Just now I answered you. I answered your question of which principle of Jainism I admire the most, and it was the principle of Anekantavada. I'm going to tell you about which principle of Jainism I currently do not follow. And when I say currently, I just don't mean now for a certain period of time. When I say currently, I mean at least for this birth, and next few more births. Which principle of Jainism do I not follow? And that principle of Jainism which I do not follow as of now is the principle of aparigraha. You heard me right. As of now, I mean now meaning this birth, I'm not following, and I do not follow the principle of aparigraha. And you might be thinking, what is the meaning of aparigraha? Aparigraha means, being detached from the material life. Renouncing the material world, and quitting lot of worldly activities, and refraining yourself from worldly pleasures. So all these things I do not do, and at least in this birth I'm not going to do. So if there is any one principle of Jainism which I do not follow, it is the principle of, or the concept of, aparigraha. Okay, so I don't practice aparigraha. Of course, see, I'm not a very greedy person. I'm not a very selfish person. I'm not a greedy person. I love helping others. I love giving charities. I love feeding animals. I love feeding the poor people. I love, whatever I like. Not only, let's say for example, I like many things in this life, but those things which I like and those things which I have, I don't just keep it for myself. I also give it to others. I enjoy a lot giving to others more than taking. But still, even though I give more than I take, still this does not mean that I believe in aparigraha. Okay? I enjoy my life as much as possible. I try to live my life to the fullest. At the same time, I also make sure that from my end, I do whatever I can to help others. Be it human, be it animal, be it a bird, or even an insect. Like many times I've seen some insects like they were going to drown in a tank of water. I have gone and saved many insects. I have saved I have saved injured animals. I had before coming to Mumbai, I was in Chennai, and in Chennai, I had even once rescued an injured dog. There was one injured dog on the street, and I had rescued that dog. So what I'm trying to tell you is, see, I care for others. I love to give more than taking, but still, end of the day, this does not mean that I am following the principle of aparigraha. Okay, so as I told you, I'm speaking honestly from my heart. Yes, I'm a Jain. I'm a proud Jain, and I'm a very proud Jain, and I consider myself to be very lucky to be born in a Jain family. But still, end of the day, if there is any one principle which I do not follow, it is the concept or the principle of aparigraha. Okay, so in Jainism, I do not practice the principle of aparigraha. Okay, so along with doing for others, I too enjoy my life. Okay, see, I go to malls, I go to cinemas, and I make YouTube videos like I'm making right now, and I eat all kinds of luxury foods, and be it whatever, as long as it is vegetarian. Yes, one more thing, guys, please note this carefully. As long as any food is vegetarian, I will eat it. There is no way at all I'm going to eat non-veg. No way at all. There is. I have one own principle for me, which is हम चाहे तो भूख से मर जाएंगे, लेकिन नॉनवेज को हाथ नहीं लगाएंगे. हम चाहे तो प्यास से मर जाएंगे, लेकिन एक ड्रॉप भी शराब नहीं पिएंगे. So it means that even if I have to starve to death, okay, even if I have to die out of hunger, I will die out of hunger, but I'm not going to eat non-veg. Okay, I'm not going to eat non-veg, even if I have to starve to death, and even if I have to die due to thirst, I will die of thirst, but I'm not going to drink even one drop of alcohol, be it wine, beer, champagne. I'm not going to drink any of these alcoholic drinks. But as long as anything is pure vegetarian, and anything which does not contain meat, or anything which are mostly plant based, and vegetarian, vegan and vegetarian foods, I eat all of them. And be it even you get this non-alcoholic beer called Coolberg. You can Google it, Coolberg. Coolberg. Coolberg is basically, it is a non-alcoholic beer. It is not an alcoholic beer. Coolberg is an non-alcoholic beer. So any drink which does not contain alcohol, the name may be beer, but because it is not alcohol, so I consume all these types of non-alcoholic drinks. Okay, so once in a year, and once in 6 months at least, I drink this Coolberg, and I even drink cool drinks like Sprite, Fanta, Thumbs Up, Pepsi, all these things I do consume honestly. So what I'm trying to tell you is, I eat all the luxury foods, and I consume all the luxury drinks, but only as long as they are non-alcoholic, and as long as they are pure vegetarian or vegan. Okay, so end of the day, This is what I'm trying to tell you. So this is how I lead my life as a Jain. And of course, I keep even since my childhood I was brought up abroad. I was brought up in Singapore and even in Jakarta, Indonesia. So so I'm exposed to many of the Western culture. So I practice both Indian and Western culture. So end of the day, if there is one principle of Jainism which I don't follow, it is the principle of aparigraha. Okay. Next question: am I proud to be a Jain? Of course, I just told you. Am I proud to be a Jain? Definitely. I just now told you. I am very very proud to be a Jain. If there is anything, see, a lot of great things have happened to me in my life. Okay, there are a lot of amazing things which has happened to me in my life, and there are a lot of more amazing things which are going to happen to me in my life, in the future. But so far, if there is anything very great that has happened to me in my life, it is that I am born as a Jain. Okay. So am I proud to be a Jain? Definitely. I just told you I am proud to be a Jain. Okay. Next question. Okay. Do I follow a proper Jain diet? क्या मैं Jain diet को ठीक से follow करता हूँ? And as I told you, I'm being honest with you. No, I don't follow a proper Jain diet. Okay, as I told you, of course, at home I eat only pure Jain food. Okay, me, my parents, and in fact many of my family members, at home we eat pure Jain food. But outside, when we go to restaurants, when we go to hotels, when we go to the malls and everything, we don't actually follow a proper Jain diet. Of course, we only eat vegetarian food, but see, I have no problem eating underground vegetables like beet potatoes, sweet potatoes, onions, garlic, brinjal, beetroot, and even cauliflower, ginger, turmeric, peanut, and even mushroom. So what I'm trying to tell you, all the underground vegetables and all the overground vegetables, okay, basically all the vegetables, whether the vegetables are grown over the ground or below the ground, okay, I eat all the vegetables, like even including carrot, radish, and carrot, radish, garlic, brinjals, beetroot, cauliflower, even cauliflower, mushrooms, etc. And of course, even on the top, like broccoli, beans, broccoli, capsicum, tomato, and bitter gourd, cabbage, etc. All the vegetables I eat. Okay. So even just now before I was talking to you, that I eat all these luxury foods, as long as it is vegetarian. So I eat all the luxury foods. So the question two, do I follow a proper Jain diet? My honest answer is no, I don't follow a proper Jain diet. Okay. I eat anything as long as it is pure vegetarian or vegan. Okay. I repeat one more time. Any food as long as it is vegan or pure vegetarian, I eat that. Okay. So that's it. So even once in a month and sometimes twice in a month, I have my lunch in Pizza Hut. I go to Burger King. I have veg burger in Burger King. I eat veg pizza in Italian Pizza Hut, and I even eat pizza from this American pizza centers. So what I'm trying to tell you is, I follow a vegetarian diet. I follow a proper vegetarian diet, but I do not follow a proper Jain diet. Okay, I hope you understand. Thank you. Next question: why am I a vegetarian by choice? People have asked me, okay, why am I a vegetarian by choice? See, if I'm not following a proper Jain diet, then why am I being a vegetarian by choice? See, the answer is simple. I am a vegetarian by choice because I want to avoid making too much of hinsa. See, when you eat non-veg, it is extreme amount of violence. See, just think logically. See, whether you cut a potato or whether you cut a tomato. See, Jains eat tomato, but Jains don't eat potato. I mean, generally, I'm not talking about me. Okay, I eat all the vegetables. I'm telling generally, according to Jainism, potatoes and all these underground vegetables are not allowed. But just think logically, whether you cut a tomato or a potato, will the tomato or the potato cry? The answer is no. Neither. When you cut a potato, the potato will not cry, and even the tomato will not cry. When you cut a beans or when you cut a carrot, will these vegetables cry? No. When you cut a mushroom, when you cut a beetroot, when you cut garlic, and when you cut brinjal, radish, carrot, garlic, onions, will these underground vegetables ever cry in pain when you cut them? The answer is no. These are plants. Plants are ekendriya, which means plants only have one sense, that is the sense of touch and nothing else. So, be it overground or underground vegetables, so as long as it is vegetarian means plant-based foods, and even vegan is plant-based food. In vegetarian, we do consume animal products such as milk, cheese, butter, ghee, and curd, etc. But we don't harm the animals itself. So your question too, as if I'm not following a proper Jain diet, then why am I a vegetarian by choice? It's because, see, in vegetarian, no animals are killed. Okay, whether you eat onions or potatoes or beans or tomatoes, the amount of violence caused in these food is nowhere comparable to the amount of violence and pain caused to the animals when you consume non-veg. So in non-veg, when you go to, let's say, if you have walked across a butcher shop, whenever someone picks up a hen or a rooster or a chicken, and before they slaughter the animal, that animal will cry in pain. Chickens will cry in pain. Goat will cry in pain. Cows and sheep, and be it anything, lamb, whatever, pig, whatever. All these animals, before they get slaughtered, they suffer, they struggle, they cry in pain, they beg for mercy. They cry in pain, and they have feelings just like humans. So if I consume non-veg, I'll be responsible for causing all this pain and suffering for these innocent animals, which I don't want to do. So I may not follow a Jain diet, but as long as anything is vegan or pure vegetarian, I consume them. So that's why, see, according to Jainism, underground vegetables are forbidden as per the rules of Jainism. But even underground vegetables, even they don't have feelings like animals. Okay, whether all those vegetables which are allowed according to Jainism and which are forbidden according to Jainism, end of the day, all these are vegetables, which means they are plant based. So therefore, none of them will cry in pain, none of them will suffer in pain, unlike animals. So whether I eat potatoes, onions and garlic, etc., or whether I eat tomatoes, capsicum and beans, etc., no matter what, all these are vegetables, and they don't cry in pain when they are being cut and chopped. So therefore, to reduce this amount of extreme violence, okay, not completely cancel. See, violence happens even in vegetarian food, but in order to reduce this extreme amount of violence, therefore by choice I am a vegetarian. Okay, therefore, though I may not follow a proper Jain diet, but I follow a pure vegetarian and a pure vegan diet. I eat pure vegan and vegetarian food. Okay, I hope I've answered your question. Thank you. Next question. Why do I believe that women are superior to men despite being born in a Digambar Jain family? It's a pretty sensitive question, but I'll be honest with you. See, now, me, Sorry guys, 1 second, my hair. Okay, now me, personally, I'm born in a Digambar Jain family. And in Digambar Jains, generally people believe that in order to attain moksha, it can happen only from the male form. If any female has to attain moksha, first she'll have to be reborn as a male, and then from a male's body she can attain moksha. This is believed according to the, okay, say, I'm not saying this is my belief, this is what is taught, and this is the general basic belief of Digambar Jains. Okay, Shwetambar Jains, however, believe that even both men and women can attain moksha. So right now I'm not talking about Shwetambar Jains, I'm just talking about Digambar Jains. Okay, so when it comes to Digambar Jains, see, though I'm born in a Digambar Jain family, why do I believe that women are superior to men? See, I focus more on practicality, logic, and analysis, not just simply the religious rules. I respect all the religious rules, but what but those religious rules which I truly embrace, I make sure that I have got proper practical and logical evidence behind it. So, just speaking logically, generally Digambar Jains believe that women cannot attain moksha, but I will say that I don't believe in this. I don't believe in this rule. For me, I believe. Rather than rule, I will say philosophy. I don't believe in this philosophy that women cannot attain moksha, but rather I believe, what I honestly and truly believe is that both men and women can attain moksha, and I believe both the genders are equal. Okay, see, there is no inferiority or superiority complex in the genders. Both male and female are equal, and even science has proved it. And today, as you all know, whatever men can do, even women can do. In fact, even women can do it much better than men. So what I'm trying to say is, I totally believe in equality of men and women. And if ever a situation comes where we will have to give one gender the superiority, I will proudly say that the female gender is more superior to the male gender. Why? Because see, a lady has the power of giving knowledge. That is why, we say, स्त्री तो माँ सरस्वती होते हैं. Lady has the power of giving strength to men. That is why हर स्त्री को माँ दुर्गा का रूप में देखा जाता है. And lady has the power to prepare any man to face the world and earn his daily bread. And even when it comes to business and making big decisions, etc., especially when it comes to financial decisions, ladies are very intelligent. So that's why ladies are even called as Ma Lakshmi. Like in India, we all know, we pray to Ma Saraswati, Ma Durga, Ma Lakshmi. Why? These are the symbols of every woman. Every woman have the power of these qualities. And one more thing you should remember, see, behind every successful man, there is always a woman. Okay, it's not the other way around. Behind every successful woman, not necessarily there is a man. Of course, even men have helped women to succeed, but behind every successful woman, not always there is, not necessarily there is a man. But behind every successful man, there is always a woman. And that is, why do you think so? Because that is the nature of woman. क्योंकि हर स्त्री माँ लक्ष्मी होते हैं, माँ दुर्गा होती है, और माँ सरस्वती होती है. हर स्त्री माँ सरस्वती, माँ दुर्गा और माँ लक्ष्मी होती है. So that's why I believe that, like if ever we have to give any one gender a superiority, I will give I will give the female gender the higher status than that of the male gender. Okay, though I am a man, though I am a man, though I am a male, and though I am from a Digambar Jain family, I strongly believe that both men and women are equal. But if ever a situation comes where we will have to give one gender the superiority, then honestly speaking, I will say that women are superior to men. One more thing, guys. Many of the Digambar Jains who say that, that okay, see, uh, those people who have become Tirthankars, they are all male. This is Shwetambar Jains believe that the 19th Tirthankar, Lord Mallinath Tirthankar, was actually a female. Okay, that is not the topic right now. That is a different topic. I will discuss some other time. Let's focus on Digambar Jains. Digambar Jains, when they believe that okay, all the Tirthankars, all the 24 Tirthankars who have attained moksha so far, they are all men. They are all males. Yes, it is true. They are males. But let me remind you one more thing. When all these Tirthankars attained moksha, the Tirthankars attained moksha from this earth. And when they attained moksha from this earth, first they have to be born on this earth. First they have to be born on this earth. And even before attaining moksha, when the Tirthankars are born on this earth, the Tirthankars take birth from the womb of a woman. Please remember this. जब भी कोई तीर्थंकर धरती पे पैदा होता है, उस तीर्थंकर उस व्हाट यू से महापुरुष, इन हिंदी भी से महापुरुष, उस महापुरुष को भी जो जन्म देती है वो भी एक स्त्री होती है. ये याद रखना, खास करके दिगंबर जेन्स के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा आवश्यक है. ओके, सो ऑल माय डियर दिगंबर जेन्स, all my dear Digambar Jain brothers and Digambar Jain sisters, please remember this. Even before a Tirthankar attains moksha, even before Lord Bahubali attained moksha, and even before Lord Adinath attained moksha, and even before Bharata Chakravarti attained moksha, all these Mahapurush, okay, all these great Mahapurush who have attained moksha, before attaining moksha, when they were born on earth, they had to take birth from the womb of a lady, from the womb of a woman. So even Tirthankars, before attaining moksha, they are given birth on this earth by women, not by any other men, but by women. So that's why, if you ask me personally, though I'm a Digambar Jain, I totally believe that women are superior to men. Okay, generally I believe both men and women are equal. Okay, I don't believe I don't say that male are superior or female are superior. I say both men and women are equal. But if ever there is a situation where where we have to give one gender the superiority, I will proudly say that women are 100 times more superior to men. And this is a fact. You like it or not, but this is a fact. Okay? I hope I've answered your question. I will discuss on this topic more in detail in any of my next videos. Okay? So I hope I've answered your question. So now coming to the last question of this video. Do I wish to be reborn in a Jain family again in my next birth? The answer is absolutely yes. यहाँ पूछा गया है, क्या मैं दोबारा अगले जन्म में भी क्या मैं जैन फैमिली में पैदा होना चाहता हूँ? बिल्कुल. There is no doubt I want to be born in a Jain family in all my future births. Okay? Jainism is the philosophy where not only we just preach, but we truly practice ahimsa, anekantavada, satya, and asteya, And aparigraha I don't follow as of now, but yes, but even it's also an important philosophy. So if there is any philosophy which properly leads you to come on the path of liberation, that is to come on the path of moksha, it is none other than Jainism. So would I like to be reborn in a Jain family even in my next life? The answer is 100%, 1000%, 10,000%, and even 1,000,000% yes. In all my future births and even in my next birth, I want to be born in a Jain family. I'm not saying Digambar Jain or Shwetambar Jain, but yes, I want to be born in a Jain family. Okay, I hope I've answered your question, and whatever I've spoken in this video, I'm speaking to you from my heart, and forgive me if I've offended anyone, but I'm being honest with all of you. Okay, so I will end this video right now, and just wish you all a very happy new year in advance, and I will see you soon again with my next video. So till then, take care and good night. I'll just end this video by reciting the Namokar Mahamantras. Okay, thank you. Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayiryanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loye Sauvasahunam, Eso Pancha Namokaro, Sauvapava Panasano, Mangalanancha Sauvesim, Padamam Havai Mangalam, Chattari Mangalam, Arahanta Mangalam, Siddha Mangalam, Sahu Mangalam, Kevali Pandatto Dammo Mangalam, Chattari lo Guttama, Arahanta lo Guttama, Siddha lo Guttama, Sahu lo Guttama, Kevali Pandatto Dammo lo Guttamo, Chattari Sharanam Pavajjami, Arahante Sharanam Pavajjami, Siddhe Sharanam Pavajjami, Sahu Sharanam Pavajjami, Kevali Pandattam Dhammam Sharanam Pavajjami. Om Bhrim Shrim Arham Asya Usa Namaha. Om Namah Siddhebhyaha. Om Namah Siddhebhyaha. Om Namah Siddhebhyaha. Thank you guys. Jai Jinendra and Jai Siddhatma. Thank you.